Are you ready to take your finances to the next level? Are you ready to learn what's not taught in schools regarding building generational wealth? If your answer is yes, welcome to the conversation. Let's talk income shifting. Let's talk cash flow management. Let's talk improving your credit score. Let's talk investing. Let's talk finance with Melissa and Tony.
Hey.
Hey now, what's going on, MK? What's up, Coach? Talk to me.
Hey, we back for another episode.
Okay.
Hey y'all, it's Tuesday. Me and Tony on the road. I don't even know how to act. We done came live week after week after maybe about 2 more weeks in a row. No, ain't nobody had no excuses. Ain't nobody bailed.
Right. It's all about consistency. We know that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you know, we'll fall off.
Yeah, we will.
We'll fall off on you. But we ain't doing that right now. Okay, so welcome back. I am Melissa King, the home-based business owner. And I have been a home-based business owner with My Econ for the last 8 years. My Econ is short for My Economy. So this is a financial success company. We teach people about credit repair. Or I ain't gonna say we teach. I'm gonna say we teach you how to educate yourself on credit repair, on home-based business ownership, tax deductions as it relates to being a home-based business owner. What else we got? We got the cash flow manager if you already have a business. And we don't go over that. I lost my Tony. Tony, come on back now. So tonight I did a little clip of the cash flow manager just to let you guys see how easy it is. It's an app on your phone that helps you track all of your expenses. So if you already have a business, but you don't have a good tracking mechanism other than a shoebox full of receipts or your own homemade spreadsheet, this system, as a side item, we sell for $10.99, I believe, and $10.99 a month, and it will make sure that you are, if you are completing it, if you are entering your data in it, it's gonna make sure that you are audit compliant with the IRS. So we're gonna take a peek at that in a little bit. Tony, what did happen to you now? You usually do it and pop back up by now. He must be having some technical difficulties or some charging. Maybe it's a charge issue. But in the meantime, so yeah. So I've learned about it. We teach you how to educate yourself. We educate you on all of the benefits of having a home-based business, such as being able to hire your child. Did you know, according to Publication 15, that you can hire your child to work for you? And not only do you pay them wages, but you will receive, let me see, who's back? What happened?
Hey, you know how that internet be.
Gotcha. But okay, so I was just saying, still telling about the benefits. I was telling about Publication 15 and how it tells you how you can hire your child, and because that isn't a salary to them, is an expense to you, that's a deduction.
Right.
So stop giving your kid an allowance. Start your own business, give your kid a salary. and that way y'all both win. Let them pay for their own school supplies, different things they have to have for trips and uniforms. You know, they had that bill waiting for you on the first day of school to tell you what before they even have a homework assignment. They know how much you owe. I don't know if you remember when we were little, they used to pin the note to you and send it home for whatever money you need to bring the next day. Yeah, they still doing that, only they use a computer now. So hire your child, give your child a salary. You would think maybe you wouldn't have anything for them to do, but you would be surprised because I hired my daughter as young as 5 years old, and even though she couldn't do like any of the big jobs because she hadn't learned to read and all that stuff yet, but she knew how to empty a trash basket. She knew how, when we were having a meeting at the house, to open the door, introduce herself, tell people to have a seat, ask them if they want a bottle of water. You know, it doesn't have to be an extravagant job, but they're working if they're a hostess. You'll see plenty of pictures of mine and Tony's daughter at the we used to do a monthly Super Saturday, and the girls would sit at the table and let people sign in and, you know, tell them where to sit, where the refreshments were. So you would be surprised. And you can pay that child, I think you said, is it $13,500 now? It was,
I think it's right at 13, if not a little bit higher. Yeah.
Okay. So you can pay a child that's under 18 that's not subject to federal and Social Security tax, because they're not when they're under 18. You can pay them per child. I'm gonna say up to, I know for sure, 12,000. Tony said it might be 13 or more. So keep that in mind. You know, another positive of being a home-based business owner. So yeah, we're gonna get into all of that. Tony, this is my partner, my teacher, my guru, my hype man, Tony Clark. He's the one that introduced me to my econ, and it is his fault that y'all have to look at us every Tuesday and Thursday, because once he introduced me to this business, I haven't been able to, you know, step away from it. So Tony, let them know what's going on with you.
Okay. Well, you know, I apologize for my connection going bad, but like Melissa probably already said, we've been in this thing for 8 years, and I can tell you, I know a lot of people that are out there struggling, especially those that have a job. Now that I understand the tax system and how the government will help you if you have a job, why not have a home-based business? Our home-based business actually teaches you step by step how to get the government to help fund help you with your gas and help you with some of your everyday bills. So I think that it's a necessity. I think everybody needs to understand the benefits. I think the benefits of becoming a home-based business owner are far more greater for those that don't have it. And I think that this is our mission, is to help find people that are looking to improve, not those that just want a get rich quick scheme.
Right.
All the information is being missed. It's being missed by not educating ourselves. So this is why we're here today, to help share the goodness of a home-based business.
You are so right, and we're unaware. And I always like to say they hiding it right in the middle of the World Wide Web. Anybody who wants to go and find out information about having a home-based business through the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, they have a website. That's where we get our information. That's where this business comes from. We have two financial co-founders that have been in finance for years before starting this business 18 years ago, who have mastered the publications as far as how to do a home-based business. They put all this information together and created a business in a box so that anybody, I don't care what your background is, you would be surprised to know out of the thousands and thousands of people, because we are nationwide, from sea to shining sea, from California down to Florida, everywhere. So you can imagine, we got all kind of backgrounds in there. Doctors, lawyers, librarians, people who drive the Amber lamp, as the old folks say. You got mechanics, chefs, everybody. And you don't even have to have a job. Now, Tony and I do still have a clock-in job, but we are working frantically towards the goal of being able to fire our boss. And then, boss, if you're listening now right now, I ain't talking about today. We are looking to fire our boss to be able to walk away and be an entrepreneur full time. Last night we had a live with our other business super friends. You know, we do every other Monday. We do a broadcast with Boss Life Online and Pandy's Hair Candy and More. Or she also has a page, Pandy's. What's her money page called?
Making Money Moves.
Right, Making Money Moves with Pandy. So the four of us get on every other week and kind of talk to you about the benefits of having a business, some of the setbacks, some of the challenges, you know, just kind of share our story because, you know, everybody's had a different journey. And if you can't relate to my story as a divorced mom, you may be able to relate to Tony's story as, you know, with a two-house income. Or Boss Life story, she's an entrepreneur and she's completely a 1099. She works for herself. So we offer some different perspectives and stuff. I want to shout out everybody who was so nice to us last week. You know, we have been doing the 10 to win. We still in 10 to win, but the 95-cent portion has, you know, kind of been tabled. But if you are nice to us, we might be able to work some out. So don't feel about it. But anyway, thank you to all the great content creators who had the bigger platforms that allowed us to come over last week and introduce my econ to people who may not otherwise hear it. Because you see how full our chat is. But anyway, the Demetri Lit All Day, she invited us to her platform. And then we went live Friday evening and we did a co-broadcast with Deanna Irvin and the Hood Table. So they got out the word. I had some people that said that they were sent over from Lady Nika's, you know, heard about us from Lady Nika's channel. So different content creators, thank you so much for your support. Over on Facebook, I'm a member of VS Icons Business. She has a business page where she allows people to come in, advertise their businesses on her page. So strong supporter of her Facebook page over there. Who else? I think maybe I can't think of anybody else who jumped in last week. Maybe that's it. But anyway, thank you to all of those people. So we back. You know, we had the live-a-thon Friday. There was a lot of fun. We put out a lot of information. But you know what, Tony? After I got through talking for 3 hours, I was tired. I took my test bed. And, you know, I think it's because y'all I work from home, y'all. So my conversation is limited to whatever conversation me and Tony have on Tuesday and Thursday, and the conversation I have with my 13-year-old. So having to talk that long, you know, I wasn't ready. That's longer than I'm used to having to talk. So Tony, I told him I was gonna give him a little snippet. I went out today, take my daughter to her art class. While she was there, I dipped over to Express Oil Change and got my oil change. Now, if you were listening last week, we were telling you that's one of the expenses that you can write off because my business, I use my vehicle for my business. So we have the Cash Flow Manager, which to me is one of the bread and butter products that comes with this business. That is an app on our phone that we can use to enter our expenses from anywhere we are. So when I went over there today, usually I'll do it on the spot, but I said, you know what? I'm going to bring the receipt back. And when I get home, I'm going to make a video so y'all can see just how easy it is to tap on it, put your who, what, when, where, and why in, let you see some of the other categories that you may not know are deductions. And so Tony, you still got that video?
Okay, so my computer went down. I'm going to attempt to go back in and find it.
Okay.
Just stay with me.
Okay, no problem. So y'all know what? Today is December the 5th. 20 more days, and then, you know, big business going to be knocking at your door, trying to get you to get out there and spend money. They've been at me hard. Every time I go to my email, I got somebody telling me, you missing out. Last chance, 50% off, all that type of stuff, trying to make me feel like because I'm not spending money, I'm missing out on something. And I just scroll on past it because I'm like, if I ain't know I needed it before today, I must be all right. But they gonna be tugging at your pockets with all these half offs and buy one and get one. Now, don't get me wrong. If this was something that you were gonna get and you've been waiting on the prices to go down, I'm all for it. But if it wasn't something that you felt like you needed before they told you it was on sale, I'm gonna ask you to think twice before you go out and spend money. You know, at least try to make a decision about how bad you need this right now. Okay? So we survived Black Friday. We made it through Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday. So now we coming up on Christmas and all of the first of the year New Year's sale. So just be prepared, y'all know. They're gonna be around there trying to get in your pocket. So keep in mind, inflation is not playing. Tony, I was outdone. I was working on some some tax stuff.
Mhm.
So I was like, just for the fun of it, let me see how much I spent on eating out versus going to the grocery store for this particular year.
Right.
When I'm telling you my feelings was hurt, when I seen them totals,
Yeah.
I was like, I need to look at this every week because this is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So my total for eating out, and this was and I'm gonna say this was during COVID, so this in 2021. So I went, and this was just on one credit card, right? When I totaled up eating out, it came to over $3,000. For me, 92, every now and then we have a family thing and I might buy food for that. So, but for the most part, it's just me and her. So then I said, well, okay, let me see how much money I spent on groceries. And since I basically go to the same store, I was able to sort that out. Still $3,000. We ain't even, I can tell you, it's 2023 now, but I should still be full from $6,000 worth of stuff 2 years ago. Right. You hear me?
Yeah.
And I was just like, so I had to walk away from the computer. Because I'm like, you know what? You up here getting upset over money that you done spent 2 years ago. Let that alone. Learn your lesson from that and keep it moving. But it was when I seen that total, because all them little swipes, they don't seem like much when you just running through the drive-thru. But I'm like, $3,000. And there was everything from DoorDash to Domino's to Wendy's to McDonald's, a bunch of garbage. That I guarantee you didn't have $3,000 worth of satisfaction when we ate.
Right.
Okay, I see you done pulled up my video for me. I appreciate you.
Okay.
So let's see if we can get this going. This is just a walkthrough of me entering my oil change information. I just went and got my oil change a little while ago. So, okay, StreamYard, don't start acting up. My computer StreamYard acting up, but I can't hit my phone StreamYard. What did I do? I'm about to ban you from the studio by accident, Tom.
It's okay.
Is it can you rewind it? Because it like it's playing towards the end right now.
Let me see if I can get it to do so.
Okay. Yeah, just back it up to, and I know it's kind of small. Let me see. I might just
Okay.
take. I'm gonna take us off and just do. I don't know how much that'll help, but I want people to be able to see it.
Okay, you want me to go take it back?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I guess
Is it playing?
shit. So look, it's playing. Okay,
Okay.
y'all. It's moving. I think I speeded up a little too fast. But anyway, this is what the inside of the cash flow manager looks like. It's basically where I can go in, and I wish I could make it bigger, shoot, because it is kind of small. Eh. Anyway, so what I did, as an app, it's an app on my phone, and it's called, and the app just says Cash Flow Manager. I click the button. Now I end up putting this back up there. Trying to stretch the thing now. Okay, so hit the button. It took me straight into my cash flow manager. I chose my particular account I got set up because I have, you can put more than one business back there. So I didn't kick myself out. No, that's not what. So what I did was I went in, I chose for my type of expense, transportation repair, because it was an oil change. Typed in who, which was Express Oil. How much? It was $46.99. The date was today, 12/5/2023. So that takes care of who, what, when, where. Madison, Alabama is where I went, and why it no, why? Who, what, when, where? Why? Why is because I need an oil change, maintenance or whatever. So I went in, and I kind of want you guys to kind of see what it looks like, and that's it. But it's flashing a little fast. But I want you to see these are some of the items we have to choose from. You see the list is pretty long. They've got meal expenses, products, transportation expenses, including mileage, parking tolls, rent a car, travel lodging, which would be staying in hotels, the tips when you eat out, advertising expenses, and that could be anything you're paying for. Like I use as an advertising expense. Well, no, actually, I use the subscription for some of the apps like Canva, CapCut that I have the premium on. I have premium YouTube. All of those I put under subscription because I use those subscriptions to operate my business. This is just kind of giving you a look at what it looks like when you see the information all together, and it can categorize it for you. It can sort it by expenses, income, or if you just want to do it by date. So I was just kind of giving y'all a look of what it looks like when you enter all of your information and how easy it is to um add it in. Even though that video is a little bit long because I was trying to slow it down, but I wanted y'all to be able, which I didn't do a great job of slowing it down because it was running through there. But it actually takes all of about a minute to go in and put what all you're putting. And that's I think I mentioned before, a lot of times my regular stuff, I just put it in there as a recurring expense. So I don't have to go in and actually type the in every month. Things like internet, cell phone, that are going to be pretty much consistent every month. I just put it on repeat for whatever day of the month it comes out. The $39.95 that I pay for the website, there's a whole entry for that. Cash flow, what is it called? My econ website, I think. So I put that in. It comes out every month on the 17th. And so that's a recurring expense for me. So it's very easy, but you have to put the information in. If you don't put the information in, it don't count. It's like if you don't, the whole purpose of having a cash flow manager is because the IRS requires two things for you to have a business. What are those two things, Tony?
It is having an intent to make a profit and proper record keeping.
That's right. So the cash flow manager, when you enter your information in, is covering the proper record keeping. As far as attempting to make a profit, anytime you share information about your business, such as like we're doing right now, or sharing a post, passing out a business card, however you're sharing, when you share, you are attempting to make a profit. So yeah, I feel like I've been doing all the talking, Tony. So I am going to let you talk about whatsoever you want to mention that I may have missed or that you think people need to hear on this lovely Tuesday.
Okay, I don't have a whole lot to say all the time, but when I try to say something, I try to make sure it makes sense to people, which just they'll never know. What Melissa went over is also inside of the membership. We do have tutorials that can walk you through it, and then you also have me and Melissa and other associates that if you don't understand something, we can get on a call like this and kind of like walk you through it step by step, because a lot of the stuff can be kind of overwhelming. But I can tell you that our system has specific instructions on how you can set your business up, along with the cash flow manager and the W-4 adjustments, and how to walk through each process. So don't think that we understand that the mindset has been work, become an employee, but our business is designed to help you become a successful business owner. So our membership is to help you become the most successful business owner that you can be inside of the system. So if you have any problems, feel free to reach out to your upline or any other associate inside of MyEcon, and we can get the help that you need. That's pretty much all I got. But I think you did a great job just sharing, because I think people need to see that this is a real system. The company has invested millions of dollars to have access to this type of product, and we have everything you need. All you have to do is just dive in and educate yourself on how it all works.
Exactly. So pretty much for $10 a less, you can get started today. You don't have to wait till January 1st. We're going to start working on that money, getting that money in order right now. It's a business in a box. Mm-hmm. A lot of people struggle with credit. The do-it-yourself credit repair system teaches you everything you need to know, gives you dispute letters if you need to dispute, answers a lot of questions, resolves a lot of myths. There's a lot of myths out there about things that affect your credit that may not even be true. You just have heard it by word of mouth, and you're taking somebody's word for it, and it may not even be true. So you might be messing up your own credit because you're listening to somebody else. Because I know I've been told in the past, what are some of the misconceptions, Tony, that you've heard? I know in the past I was told anytime you run your credit report, it affects your score, even if you run it yourself, which is not necessarily true. They have the hard pulls, and then they have the soft pulls, and then if you're checking your own, of course. I mean, I'm a part of one of those. Experian has a monthly membership, and I felt like it was worth the investment for me to get into that, because I can pull my credit report at any time. Now, everybody gets at least, unless it's changed, at least once a year, you can pull your credit report from all three agencies: Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, because not everybody uses the same credit agency. So don't be surprised if you pull the Equifax, it's got one score, TransUnion a couple of points lower, Experian a couple of points higher. I usually look at all three of mine and compare what's on them and see if something's on one that's not on another one. Because in my mind, I'm thinking all three of y'all should be the same.
Mhm.
But the fact of the matter is that, you know, they're not working as one unit. Each one is a different agency. So you can have something incorrect on one. The prime example, I've told this story before. When I got ready to move down to South Florida and I went to go apartment hunting, I decided the day before, let me just take a quick peek at my credit and see what this is looking like. And to my horror, when I opened it up, and this was, I want to say, I don't know if this was Experian. Maybe, I don't know if I had started the membership with them yet. But anyway, whoever it was, it had somebody else's information. You know, Melissa King. I didn't think it was that common a name, but apparently it's a bunch of us.
Mhm.
So, this one had bought a house that was foreclosed. They had lived in Kentucky, some other states that I ain't never even touched down in. And all of this was on my credit report. So I'm looking at this and I'm freaking out because I'm going tomorrow. And if anybody's went apartment, you know how that go. When you go in, you fill out the information, they don't run your credit. So, you know, I'm freaking out because I'm like, I don't want them to base whether or not I'm approved on somebody else's bad information. Because really that wasn't my fault. The only thing that I can take accountability for is I should have been checking it all along. So then I would have seen these things sooner. But you know what they say, hard head make a soft behind. Because I'm over there, I'm going up there on Saturday. It's Friday and I'm freaking out. Because I'm like, what am I gonna do? So, you know, of course, I called the you know, there's always a 1-800 number you can call. And the person I spoke with was really nice. She didn't, you know how sometimes people call and they be so matter of fact, like it's not their problem, it's just this is how it is. But I explained to her, and she was like, well, you know, we went through what was on there, and I let her know what was mine, and she didn't have to take me at face value, but like I told her, I never even lived in those states, so the stuff that was for out of state, she definitely was able to go ahead and start working on that. But I told her, I said, well, what am I supposed to do tomorrow? She said, find out when you go to the apartment, to business office, who they use for the credit check. And that's when I realized that everybody doesn't use the same agency. Because she said, you know, your scores at the other place may not even have this bad information on it. So find out up front, kind of give them a heads up. And that's exactly what I did. I already had like 3 or 4 places I had planned on looking at. When I went in, I led off with, look, I was checking my credit last night. There's some bad information on it. They're working on getting it off. And it worked out. But I'm telling you, when I said I started having heart palpitations, when I looked on there and seen that foreclosure, I'm like, I ain't never even had a house. I got a foreclosure on my credit, you know. So that's just one of the reasons credit is so important. So are there any misconceptions that you were told over the years that you didn't find out after having access? They didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, they pretty much tell you don't worry about it; it'll fall off after so long. But how long is so long?
Exactly. And see, I didn't even know about that. I didn't know stuff fell off. And then, you know, what's another one I heard people say? Oh, now this wasn't a misconception, but this was something that I didn't know until we got into business. You know how they'll collectors will call you, say you had an account with I don't know, K Jewelers or something, and you lapsed in payment, the account went into negative. This was maybe 3-4 years ago. For the sake of this, I'm gonna say this was 6 years and 364 days ago. So you right about to cross that 7-year mark where, you know, something falls off. And K Jewelers, in this example, let's say they don't even exist no more. They went out of business. But they sold this debt to somebody who sold his debt to somebody.
Mhm.
Who sold his debt to somebody? So I'm at home, my phone rings, and I'm like, I don't want to pick it up. But I go ahead and pick it up. And so when I pick it up, they're telling me this is so and so. We're here, we're calling to collect on the debt. And I'm telling them, I ain't never heard of y'all. Well, we acquired the debt from this to this, and then they go all the way back. And they say K Jewelers. I'm like, man, I was 25 years old. So I'm having this conversation with them now. Now, mind you, I ain't talked to nobody in 6 years and 364 days.
Mhm.
This day, I decided they telling me, well, how much can you afford to pay? Can you send us, they always start out big. Can you send us a payment for $500? No. Well, how about if we break it down to 3 payments of blah, blah, blah? And by the end, you sending them 50 cents. But what has happened that I didn't realize because I had this conversation, that started the clock over. My 7 years was gonna be up this following week. Right. But now that I had this conversation, I didn't reset the clock. So guess what? I got another 7 years or until I pay it off. And see, that was something I had no knowledge of, before June. When June told us that in one of the conferences we went to, I was like, they can do that? They most certainly can. So when you think about all of the little things that you don't know, plus all of the things that somebody that told you wrong, you just got a bunch of bad information.
Right. That's why it's so important when we say cost versus value. Okay, the business may cost you $40 a month, but some of the information that you learn inside of the system could save you thousands and thousands of dollars. So it's like you can't just look at how much it costs you on a monthly basis, because it could cost you a lifetime of pain and more money down the road by what you don't know.
Right, because especially in this economy now, as much as we hate to, I know personally, I don't want to have to rely on credit as far as like for my, spending everyday stuff. I would prefer to use credit for something that I mean to get that I want to pay off in payments. I don't want to be running to the store grabbing a Kit Kat and got to put it on the credit card because I ain't got no cash. And then because my credit is bad, the more stuff I get on the card, the higher my interest is, the longer it's taking me to pay it off. So in essence, like you said, at $39.95, if you get your credit at a better store, you're looking at all kind of money that's coming in or not going out because you have a good score. And as much as I hate it, credit is how they. And I guess it's a good point. My pet peeve is don't use my credit for a job application now. I can see I can't even see if I'm working at a bank because me stealing money from the bank ain't gonna help my credit. Unless I'm taking that money and paying my bills. And usually if I was doing that, it would have been paid off anyway. So I hate when something sets me apart from somebody based on something that has nothing to do with it. Because like the job I do has nothing to do with money or credit. So to pass me over, but that's one of the things that they tend to use now.
One of the most interesting things about just say pain, you have to experience pain to move, right? It's like bad experiences make you say, I got to do something different. It's like you having issues with credit. And then you say, okay, I got to learn something about credit because I'm tired of bumping my head. It's like taxes, right? On your job. You say, hey, I'm tired of working overtime. I'm not getting the money that I'm supposed to get. So you're starting to look for better ways to manage. And I think, and one thing that people always think about one time a year when they get a tax-free date, do you not realize that becoming a business owner, you have a tax-free date almost every day? instead of waiting on the government to say, hey, we're going to take the taxes off of school supplies and meals and gas. Why not look at your life as a tax-free date by becoming a business owner?
You know, I never thought about it like that. Guru, you have done it again.
Right.
But that is something to think about because, okay, if you got a tax-free weekend and let's say the tax, I think here taxes is high as I don't know what, I think it might be 9-10% over here. So yeah, you can go that day and buy, let's say you spend $500, 10% of 500 is what, 50? So you would save $50 this weekend. Like you said, if you are a business owner, you tax like way less than an employee. So even though I'm both, I'm still taking advantage of both too, because even though some stuff, you know, I gotta pay the regular taxes. But the good thing about having a business is you start your business, you work your business, and then you pay taxes on what's left over after you've worked your business. With a W-2 job, you coming in the door and they getting that up at you. And they doing it at a higher rate because when you tax on a job, it's gonna be anywhere from what, like 25 to 35%. Whereas a business, you might be taxed as like 18 to 25%. So, like Tony said, that's a tax-free day every day if you think about it.
Yeah, if you set it up the right way, I just think that's the only time that people actually think about taxes and how it affects their life. When the government incentivizes you to spend money on a specific date, but they're not telling you to become a business owner to lower your taxes. They don't tell you that part. It's only on one specific day, a weekend, that they will allow you to get these breaks. And I said, man, that's really a disservice for people not to understand that you can give yourself that tax-free date almost every day if you apply yourself on the right side of the tax system.
And that's so true because it's been times my mom done called me and she's like, you know, it's tax-free weekend. I'm like, Mama, I ain't gonna go out there and spend $500 to get $50. And you just have to weigh your options. And what I like about having an entrepreneur mentality or a business owner mentality is you learn to think outside of the box and beyond today. So many of us think from today to tomorrow or from month to month. You know, when we first got in, I used to hear it saying all the time, if you paying this month's bills with this month's check,
yeah,
you already in trouble.
Yeah.
Because that means you don't have an emergency fund, or you don't have the fund set up so that you are ahead of the game. And so when you kind of live your life from paycheck to paycheck versus looking at the big picture, because big picture is let me go ahead and get my money during the year. I don't need a big cash refund. I say all the time, since I've done this business, I haven't had to pay any money back in taxes. And you know, people are like, do you get a refund? I'm like, even if I do, I take that aside as a sign of I'm giving them too much money during the year. So like at the end of the year, if I get a refund back, I'm going in and I'm reevaluating how much money I'm putting into my 401k. You know, what can I do to lower my taxable income? Because I don't need no money at the end of the year. I need my money during the year. Inflation happening 365 days of the year. It ain't holding off until January, whenever, you know, the first time you can do the rapid refund. What they use, like February. Inflation ain't waiting. Inflation, like, you can wait on that if you want to, but this pack of ground beef is $10 a day. That used to be $6 or $5. So it just, you know, I like that, and it's definitely a mindset change, because you have to get the mindset that, you know, you're not being controlled. When you work a W-2 job, you being controlled. I don't care what you say. My job tells me when I got to come to work, how long I got to work, what all I got to do while I'm at work, when I can take a break, when I can take a day off, when I can be out sick, when it's too many days I've been out sick. You know, I don't need nobody with that type of control in my life, but we are so used to it because that's the you know, that's the general let's see, put Tony back up here. That's the general idea that we're groomed to think that's how it's supposed to go. But when you think about being an entrepreneur, you also gotta have that hustle mentality and realize, look, I work for myself now. If I don't work, I don't eat.
That's right.
If I don't work, don't no bills get paid.
That's
So
right.
it's different from having to clock in and somebody tell you what to do. You gonna have to tell yourself. And see, I'm still, like I said, I'm still trying to get there. Cause I want to be able to say, I ain't doing that no more. I'm finna do this full time and I'm finna make more money with this than I was making with that. So I don't need to do that no more. So it's a work in progress, but the hardest thing to change is your mind. So you come in the door. One thing I know about this company, they come to the door telling you, shift your mindset, shift your income. I remember this thing where it says if you do the same thing, you're gonna get the same result.
Right.
So if you have a job and you clocking in, you're doing the same thing, you're gonna get the same result. If you're okay with it, that's fine. But for those of us that's trying to stop working a little bit sooner, have a little bit more money to play with, have a good retirement, you know, a regular job, you're gonna kill yourself trying to get to that point.
Yeah, because your lifestyle is, when your lifestyle catch up with your paycheck, you in trouble.
And like I said, inflation. Keep hearing inflation. Inflation just means the cost of living is going up and your salary is not. The cost to live is inflating. It's getting higher and higher. Your salary is still here. But they expect you to still bridge that gap.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's hard to do. But you have a better chance at doing it when you have a business because you got the deductions, you're learning everything about money, you're applying it, you're sharing your business, getting some business income, some residual income, and you're getting invested tips. Last night, you know, I took a class with June Collier. I think that was during pandemic, maybe like 2021, stock investment for beginners. Now, I paid to take that class, and that's what I was trying to ask you last night. When you took Angela's thing and everything, you count that as education, right?
Yes.
I did that too. I just wanted to make sure. And see, that's the good thing about having this business too. If I'm unsure about anything, I can reach out to my business partners to kind of see where they went with theirs. So I paid for that stock investment class in 2020, but I think I'm getting residual education because every time June teach the class, I get to come back and sit through it. So I'm back in there again. So like, I don't know everything there is to know about investing, but I'm investing in learning how to invest.
That's good. That's good.
So I'm trying to put myself in position.
That's
you know,
good.
everything is a learning experience, but we're coming up on 49 minutes. So Tony, you got any closing remarks?
Oh, always. I want to tell everybody out there to take advantage of this promo. I think it's always about building momentum. You got to change your mindset, right? Catch you some momentum, get some people to move with you. Going over into 2024, the cost is so low that anybody can afford. If you can't afford it, like I say, me and Melissa, we still have some coupons, and we're still able to offer you a low enrollment to get started. And I say, what better way to start off New Year than starting right now?
Exactly. Get a head start on getting a head start.
There you go.
All right. Well, I'm going to get ready to take this down. I will see you back here on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So in the
Okay.
meantime, call to action. If you want to start a home-based business, reach out to Tony or myself. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you see somewhere to message us, just say 95 cents. Even though it may not be 95 cents, I know what you're talking about. And I can hit you back and get you started. And for any of the new team members, if you are like me and weren't available for the Super Saturday that they had this past Saturday, you're in the business now. You have access to going back and listening to past Super Saturday training. So go in there and get motivated. Tony was telling me that Coach Madeline out of Houston was doing her thing, inspiring, putting the word out there. And that's one of the great things about the company too. They're going to keep you charged up, energized, but you got to plug in. The light ain't going to come on if you don't plug it in the socket.
Mm-hmm.
So my econ is the socket. You got to plug in, get the information, put the information to work. So with that being said, we're going to get up out of here. So let me take us out, and we will see y'all on Thursday.
Thank you for being a part of the conversation. Now, are you ready to start your home-based business? If your answer is yes, contact Tony or Melissa to get started today.